Journal Fragment 1. These journals are long. I did it, diary. I finally got hired as a scrivener and for the Delta Times too. Oh, no! All the world's information flows through the newspaper. A river of facts alongside a paper water wheel. An endless progression of scoop, scoop, scoop. As a journalist, I'll dash about the world investigating and covering and breaking news. What better way for me to carry out my mission? I've thought about this a lot, and everyone has some fact they're hiding. Vast sums of knowledge locked in noggins the world over. But how to crack open these repositories and acquire these tasty secrets within? That's the rub, of course. As I am now, I doubt I have the dexterity to pick any of these cranial locks. I was raised in isolation, always out of the loop, hiding quietly in the outskirts of society. There's a positive way to spin that, though. I spent all of that time that wasn't talking to people, observing them. Here's what I learned. People let their guard down around cute little animals. A scowling guard captain will play cuddly coo with an adorable puppy, and soon confess all of his gripes to the precious thing, and so I will become the puppy. I'll wag my little dog tail, act the part of the friendly little non-threatening furball, and slide right into people's confidences. My brother may be a soaring eagle with his bird's eye view, but I'll be a sharp-eyed hound, keeping my nose to the ground and sniffing out every last detail I can find. So is she evil, or she was just faking it? What was Miss Girl doing? Journal Fragment 2. My oldest memory is crimson. A spray of bright red droplets and a harrowing scream. A crowd fleeing in all directions and enemy soldiers mercilessly cutting down innocents. Some of them even laughed as they did it. Amidst this I was a stone. Still in my tender years, I neither cried nor wept nor cowered, but merely watched the chaos unfold. Being raised in a war-torn land does things to an impressible mind, and I suppose something had already broken inside me. I would have died that day, cut down like the rest, were it not for my brother. His cunning carved a path for us out of that hellish place. My brother is brilliant, so much so that the enemy king spared him if he would serve. Yet despite his genius, despite how shrewd the plans he proposed were in their attempts to avoid bloodshed, the blood always flowed. Humans still, they kill, they take and they take and they take. Lives, possessions, land. It's the state of our nature, a simple fact of our existence. My brother and I have seen so much together, and we've both reached the same conclusion. The world doesn't deserve to be, or does the world doesn't deserve to see another dawn. The life of man is nasty, brutish, and ugly. Why not make it short? So is that the reporter, or is it May? I need her on our side, and I need you to convince her that's a good idea. My brother's face was flushed as he handed me the letter addressed to Raimei. Perhaps he'd been in his cups. I didn't need to ask him why he would be celebrating. The fundraising in Montwise was going swimmingly. On my way home I spotted Hikari. He's the key to everything in Ku, and if our machinations go according to plan, my brother will get what he's after. I doubt Hikari has a clue who I am. Another tactic proposed by Brother Dearest. No prior familiarity with me will help move things along down the line, but though Hikari doesn't know anything about me, I certainly know a lot about him. Hikari has another side to him, a second personality that my brother says was born from his family's cursed lineage. Somewhere in the past, Clan Ku's blood mingled with that of the infamous Archmage Darkest, sparking a history of war and sacrifice. A more odious bloodline I do not know. As I passed Hikari in the street, for a moment I felt as if our eyes met. His gaze was steady and true, just as it was when he was a boy. How had that bright spark in his eyes not dimmed over time? He had seen the same horrors I had, been through the same terrible war. So is it? It seems like they're mixing up.
Thing like that.
This is bad. Hikari was captured before I had the chance to deliver my brother's letter to Raimei. If Hikari is killed, it'll ruin everything and we'll have to start over from scratch. Clan May calls the fortress of Stormhell its home, coldest place in Celestia, and I hate it. Time is of the essence, yet this frigid blizzard is battering me about like a leaf in the wind. If only I could take 2 steps without being blown 3 back. By the time I finally reached Stormhell, Hikari had already been released. I can only assume he managed to sway Raimei on his own. I handed my overdue missive to one of Raimei's retainers and quickly put that chilly place behind me. Oswald is sentenced to life imprisonment. It took me a moment to process the judge's verdict. I blinked, doubting my ears. What was going on here? He was supposed to be executed, wasn't he? I ran as fast as I could to find Harvey. Was this his accomplice? I should have known. That swine had stuffed leaves in the judge's pocket to bribe him into that decision. Why? I want him to see the power of my perfected magic. That's his reason, that blighted fool. Pride, worthless pride. We need the Book of Demons complete. What if Oswald somehow finds a way to interfere? When I gave my report to my brother, he simply said, just watch the spectacle unfold. Apparently, my brother had already taken Harvey's massive ego into account when he made his contract with the man. If that's the case, then I suppose this isn't a problem after all. Regardless, I should hurry and gather what information I can about Frigid Owl. I concealed myself among the chattering students and slipped into Harvey's lecture. The Book of Demons is nearly complete, so he was in a jovial mood. When I saw my chance, I gave Harvey the news. Oswald had tried to escape Frigid Owl and died in the attempt. I thought the news would throw his high spirits off a cliff, but instead he started giggling. It was creepy. When he finally settled down, he merely said, I need to prepare for my guest arrival, and vanished back into his laboratory, humming cheerfully all the while. It's like he thinks Oswald is alive. Is Oswald alive? It can't be, and yet, if so, then he would come here to find Harvey and seek his vengeance. Wait. This could be perfect. I doubt Harvey will honor our agreement and hand over the Book of Demons without a fuss. If I can set those two against each other, it might create the perfect opportunity to slip in and swipe the book. I wonder if my brother had predicted this too. Harvey has left for Dusk-Ruined Shrine. The remains of Archmage Darkest will provide the final piece that Harvey needs. The Book of Demons will soon be complete. I found a nice cozy place to conceal myself, and sure enough, Oswald showed up. Just as predicted, the two fought it out, and I was able to retrieve the Book of Demons in the wake of their battle. There was one surprise, however. Harvey escaped alive. What was that bright flash of magic? A glimpse of a force that may dwarf even that of the Book of Demons. That girl. Does she have some special power within her? So Harvey's alive? Oswald entrusted the girl Elena to his assistant before setting off a journey. Like Alpates, the blood of the Lumina family runs in Elena's veins. I'll need to continue monitoring her to watch for suspicious signs. Day after day, Elena sits at her desk and pours herself into her studies. A diligent girl, I suppose, but I am curious as to why her brow sometimes wrinkles when she cradles her head into her hands. Still, her eyes are bright and her gaze seemingly set on some happy goal far off in the distance. A marked difference from when I saw her in Harvey's company. There was only worry and fear in her eyes then. My heart nearly leapt out of my throat when I heard the assistant's voice suddenly ring out behind me. Can I help you, miss? I immediately turned and tried to distract and dissemble with my tried and true cover story. Can I interest you in a newspaper subscription? Okay, so it is a newspaper girl. She smiled then, eyes warm, but I sensed a keen suspicion burning deep within those friendly eyes. I will not underestimate her again. No one else has ever noticed me when I didn't want to be found. I'll need to abandon my surveillance. Too risky. Besides, I've seen nothing else, or nothing suspect in all the time I've watched Elena. Might as well move on to more important matters. Well, here I am in Kennebrine. Word is that I can find someone who has the lost pages of the Book of Night's original manuscript. Caldina, captain of the Sacred Guard, seems to be moving as Arcanite predicted in assembling these pages. There's a potential problem, however. A nosy inquisitor named Timonos seems to have caught wind of all this. Arcanite has her eye on him, but I can only pray that he doesn't make any problems for us. I'll need to be careful not to draw his attention too. The Book of Night is close to being fully restored. Once it is, I'll need to move quickly to retrieve it and fulfill my mission. Allying myself with Arcanite was merely the easiest means to that end. My brother did tell me to be wary of her, however. He was quite forceful about it. I wonder why. So it seems like there's supposed to be, like I said, story going on. Oh, there's so many more journals. Caldina, captain of the Sacred Guard, is driven by a lust for vengeance. To achieve that end, she seeks to make the power of shadow her own, and with the restored Book of Night in hand, she set out for the Twilight Shrine. Her naive dream of avenging her people will never become reality. Why, you ask, dear diary? because the right Arcanite taught her is purposely flawed. Okay, so what I get so far from this little diary entry is the events of someone took place first and then Oswald, I think, or Oswald took place, I guess, apparently first and then Timonos. So, what did I read first? No, Hikari. I think it was Hikari first, technically for her, and then Oswald, now Timonos. So there I was, hiding in the shadows of this twilight shrine, waiting for the perfect opportunity. Lo and behold, Caldina's right went Alri, and she transformed into the most hideous form. No one told me I'd have to deal with some horrible monster. This is above my pay grade. Luckily, I had no need to fear. That Timonos showed up and handled the Caldina problem for me. I sure did. I suppose Arcanet was behind this well-timed arrival. What a puppet master. Bravo. I finally understand why my brother warned me to keep an eye on her. Ah. She did send me this way, I think. I slipped down the ritual site after Timonos made his exit and retrieved the Book of Night. All that's left is to combine it with the Book of Demons, and we'll be able to complete Dark Blood Grimoire. Here I am, grand old Timarine, just in time for the coronation ceremony. Word on the street is that an apothecary named Trousseau is going to rain on the parade with the storm infused with shadow energy. His goal, and I quote, is to extend a hand to save all in need. What a nice notion. Let's rewind the clock. It was 1 year ago that Trousseau lost hope in the future and started down this path. He was out gathering medicinal herbs when he stumbled into Lost Seed. There he met Claude, who gave him the Book of Night. Claude was disappointed with the encounter, it seems. He had swayed Trousseau to his side, but couldn't persuade an apothecary in the man's company. With a regretful sigh, he told me that this other apothecary's eyes were filled with a motherly strength, deep wells of kindness that belied a sense of fierce determination. So was Claude Thornley's actual father, and Casti and Trousseau met him and persuaded Trousseau to be evil. Okay. What was her name again? Ah, yes, Casti. She stopped Trousseau, saw the people of Timberay to safety, and even dealt with the poison rain. As if that wasn't enough, she also managed to mix up medicine and could combat the shadow on the spot. Claude's intuition was right. Casti is someone to keep an eye on. My brother will need to know that we have another dangerous potential wrench in our plans. Oh, Chelsea is evil. Which one did I get next? This one? I met a merchant today in Clockbank, an honest fellow with laughing eyes named Patricio. He's boasted that he'll rustle up 80 billion leaves and buy the rights to a steam engine from its current owner, Mr. Rock. Then he'll give the technology away to everyone. When pressed on why, he said, things like this should be shared with the whole world. Patricio confuses me. If I can borrow that ruthless Rock's words, it is human nature to take from others and give unto oneself. Despite his noble declarations, I'm sure Patricio will prove himself no different from the other slime. Greed and self-interest will win out in the end. They always do. Still, I'm vaguely curious as how the story will play out. I'll follow this Patricio, though I'll keep my expectations low. Placing your faith in others only gets you betrayed in the end. Okay, so she was okay then, I guess? Good? I don't know. Well, that was 3 and not 4. This is 15. My brother made a deal with Harvey. Craft the Book of Demons, an evil tome said to be imbued with the magic of Darkest himself. Why, you ask? Well, dear diary, because we need it to restore the lost Dark Blood Grimoire. The rub here is that neither my brilliant brother nor even Claude knows how to make this tome, thus the need for Harvey. The one thing my brother does know is that the remains of Darkest are a key component. When I shared that vital tidbit, Harvey smiled. That's all I needed. It sounds like he was already most of the way there. He's a valuable asset, so we'll do everything we can to assist him. Harvey has an unhealthy obsession with a scholar named Oswald. No, let's call it what it is. A severe inferiority complex. Ooh, yeah, call him out. Harvey told me he'd gladly give up the Dawn if it meant he could best the man. We let Harvey read the Book of Night in order to pull him into our intrigues, but honestly, I think it wasn't necessary. That bottomless well of envy in his gut, properly manipulated, would likely have been a motivation enough. Besides, I don't trust him. No normal person can fathom that twisted mind of his. So this is the one before it, 14. Particcio's gone and done it. He has gone and done it. He humbled Rock and actually wrested the rights to the steam engine from that greedy tycoon. Still, that's nothing compared to what he did next. He actually gave it away, just as he said he would. Things like this should be shared with the whole world. He's lived up to that Gwendoy's statement, and then some. The heat of his passion even melted Rock's icy heart, and I didn't think the desert sun was hard enough to do that. So taking a step back, what Particio did is impossible, unimaginable, inconceivable. I've observed countless people in my time, and to date, every one of them is motivated to varying degrees by self-interest. People are always willing to step on others to achieve their own interests, but Particio? Is he truly different? Is he someone who can transform this dark, ugly world into something wonderful? What do you think, brother? Welcome to my humble castle. That was how he greeted me when I arrived in Loseed, before he took me on a casual stroll through that rotting mausoleum of a town. I struggled not to gag on the stench of death and decay, all the while him smiling and breathing deep as if taking in the airs of a tranquil mountain meadow. This ghastly man's name is Claude, and he is the descendant of the infamous Archmage Darkest. It is said that his notorious grandfather gave him a taste of the blood of the malevolent god of darkness, Vide, frighteningly enough, while he was still in the womb. As a result, the man is blessed with eternal youth. With the blood of Darkest and Vide within his veins, Claude's fate was to become the dark god's vessel, and yet he rejected this destiny and instead chose to pass that honor onto his offspring. For our part, we don't care who the vessel is, just that we have one. Claude, however, seems to have preferences in the matter. Preferences? Bah! That man sired countless children with countless women and set his progeny at each other's throats. To the bloody victor goes the ultimate spoils. I shivered as he looked me up and down, his eyes seeming to pierce my very soul. It was as if he was seeking to plant a murderous seed inside me too. When he handed me the dark blood staff, he told me that the woman who stole it for him has a lot of potential. His words. My purpose in Loseed fulfilled. I hurried out of there. I can't wait to hand the staff over to Arcanet and let her handle the cathedral's sacred flame. Okay, so the dark blood staff is what she had. Dear Diary, today I met with Petricker, maybe? The woman known as the Dark Hunter. I had introduced her to Professor Harvey several years ago at Arcanet's request. She was talkative today and had this to say. I met Arcanet when I was young, and it was then that I swore myself to her service. Ever since, I have hunted for her and her alone, even slaying the legendary monster known as the Guardian of the First Flame at her behest. Sometimes I hunted people too, like the time I came to possess the dark blood bow. Once again, my lady has use of me, and so I shall gladly obey. Did we take care of her as Ochet? I nodded along, and then she was finished. She showed me a monster. This beast, which she had captured on Totohaha, looked out at me with eyes filled with loathing for all that walked on this earth. I asked her what it was, and she told me the result of years of brutal conditioning and healthy dose of Harvey's science for good measure. The result, an abomination crafted through repeated and horrifying experiments. I nodded again. A soul this steeped in despair would surely prove to be a great source of power. It seems that leaving the flame of Totohata in her care should prove no issue. So, the beast she captured might have been the jackal. The one that was tortured and stuff. I can't believe it. How did Particio turn that economic desert of a town into a hopping commercial hub? That business idea of his was inspired. I must admit that watching Auron's department store come to life woke something warm inside of me. I told Particio that the world's filled with people groaning under the weight of the 1,000 problems. It's fresh ideas like this that bring a ray of joy into troubled lives. For once, I really truly meant what I said. I should never have poured my heart out in public like that. I suppose my declaration was proof that he's cracked my emotional defenses and convinced me to believe in him. In my defense, he's really something else. Before I knew it, I was promising to help. Truth is, I'm excited to see what magic he'll pull out of his Particio hat next. Guess what, dear diary? This is the first time I've ever helped someone for something that wasn't directly related to my mission. Let me stop for a moment and also appreciate the fact that he convinced the Auron to invest 80 billion leaves in him. 80 billion. The question is, will Patricio prove to be a man of integrity? Will he use those leaves to help the world, and not just to line his own pockets? Just a little bit longer, only a bit, mind. I find myself needing to see what he does next. Oh, okay, so she was bad, and then Patricio changed her ways? Kinda seeing that? The statue of the Filgin, maybe? The traitor? There are words carved into the base. O inheritors of our will, let the mirror shine and kindle a fire in your heart to chase away the darkness. Statue of Elfin, the Scholar King. There are words carved into the base. O inheritors of our will, let the mirror shine and kindle a fire in your heart to chase away the darkness. So I need to... the Scholar? Alright ladies, let's get information. Yeah. And now I can do this, I think. The mirror reflects the memory of the sacred flame. It was her.
Now what have we got here? A sacred flame? Here of all places? Have I stumbled upon a scoop once again? Why, I believe I have. I'm glad that's done. There's no need to keep up this cloying facade. To wear the mask of a chipper, unflappable scrivener.
Wow.
No. Now I bring an end to this dark, wretched world. To liberate its people from their pain, their suffering, and their hatred. Just like I swore to you, brother. Together, we will usher in the night. I kept a close eye on the travelers, all while my allies and I worked behind the scenes.
They did. I wonder who else is a traitor.
Until at last, I found the book I sought. The Dark Blood Grimoire. With it, I will smother the sacred flames, that they will never again light the way for the dawn. I offer this gift of blood. May the flames turn cold and dark.
Oh. Girl, you didn't have to do all that.
Mortals. Gods. Who was it that drew the line between them? The blessed? The accursed? Us? Them? Morticio. Would that we had never met. I'm sorry, brother.
Dang, so a sacrifice did have to be made at each flame. The second sacred flame burns anew. Ori. I heard from an apothecary in town. A woman was found collapsed near the sacred flame and brought there for treatment. She had brown hair and wore a cap, much like a scrivener. After she regained consciousness, she simply vanished. That's Ori. It's gotta be. But if that's true, then what saved her? It appears her wounds fell just short of being fatal. She must have changed her mind just in the nick of time. She saw the worth in walking towards the dawn. Well, I can hazard a guess as to why she hesitated. I believe it was thoughts of you that saved her life. Me? Now don't be ridiculous. Like I'd had anything to do with that. Well, no matter. As long as she's alive, all's well. But just where did she wander off to? I sure am lucky that you're around to cheer me up, eh? Our journey isn't over. We do well not to waste our time in idle conversation. But if you must talk, then perhaps a different topic of conversation would suffice. Oswald. Thank you kindly. What's gonna be here? Sense of danger is overwhelming. Do you wish to proceed? Yes.
I ask, you answer.
What are
Simple.
you?
Ready?
Grotesque monster.
There! What to do?
Okay, an
Where
axe
was
works.
I? Blaze on. Is that the spot?
Bring it on.
Okay, bow and an axe.
Here I go. Cleaning time.
Here goes. I'm a crack shot. I ain't one for holding back.
Very well.
Rude.
Be healed.
Thank you. What to do?
What's this?
Playtime is over.
Let's just go ahead and...
Aver, Prince of Easy. What to do? What?
I'm just getting warm.
Oh
an
dear.
axe, a bow, and what else? Nope.
My turn. As swift as a snake.
Let's see what works on it.
Yeah.
Nope.
What to do? Yeah.
Nope.
Well now. This'll cool you.
Okay.
There.
Here goes. I'm a crack shot. Felt that, didn't you?
Bravo. Be healed.
Thank you kindly, Temenos.
Here I
Yeah,
go.
I'll just do that.
No mercy, only pain. Axe of the lion. Ready? Snow blanket.
Very well.
Very well indeed.
Repent. Holy light, illuminate the darkness.
Here goes. Let's get to work.
Hopefully it got it halfway. Thank you for that.
What to do? What to do?
Okay, it's yellow. Do I deal with the little ones first, or do I deal with this one?
Ready?
Here goes.
5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'm a crack shot.
Where was I?
I could do that.
Take
okay.
this. Mark.
Bravo, Temenos.
Big brain. Hmm.
Snow blankets you. Here I go.
Let's just do that.
These hands. Axe of the lion heart.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Ooh, it's red now. Don't want to risk that, or something else. Let's see.
Coming right
Thank
up.
you.
Oh dear. Be healed. I owe you.
Here I go.
Okay.
No mercy, only pain.
I need to wait for that one, actually.
Ah! Yaha! As swift as a snake.
Hmm.
Hang in there.
I am in your debt.
Not bad.
Okay.
Rain, fall.
Where was I? Repent! Be healed.
Thank you.
Here goes. Yeehaw! Let's do it.
I could do this.
Dre face. Got my shot.
Okay, cool.
Cleaning time.
Let me get you out of here.
Here I go. No mercy, only pain. Axe of the lion heart. It has to be done. I know no cure for evil.
Ooh, okay. A new. It's just gonna say the same thing, so we'll just go ahead and do that. The mirror reflects the memories of the sacred flame. Scarlet moon waxes and the first flame wanes. At last our great wish shall be fulfilled.
This world is naught but hunters and their prey. Just as Cataracta fell to my bow, just as Glacius's egg shattered before my might. The Dark Hunter sets forth once again, and my aim will not falter. Under the gaze of the Scarlet Moon, I shall fulfill the Great Wish. You must be quivering with joy, for your time has come at last.
No. It was tortured.
10 years ago, I scooped you up, let you live. It was all for this moment.
Sounds like some people's parents.
The darkness in our hearts is fed by anger, hatred, resentment, and jealousy. Our basest instincts. As that darkness grows deeper, so too does the shadow grow powerful. Few can stand against a beast whose heart has been drowned in darkness. A beast such as you. Long have I waited for the darkness within you to become black as night, so that maddening flame could be smothered forevermore. With my lifeblood, I shall call down the night. Now then. Make of my flesh an offering, and banish all that stands to oppose us. Give meaning to your miserable life.
Oh. Off screen. But you hear the bones crunching. Oh,
Arcanet.
girl. The third sacred flame burns anew. So that was the first flame, huh? Have you heard of it before? Yeah, it came to life inside of me. It was comforting and warm. It was then that I decided I wanted to protect the island. I always felt you had a heart warmer than most. Now, I think I'm ready to take on something even bigger. I'm ready to protect the whole world. That's what a hunter should do, after all. I feel the same way as you do. I want to extend a helping hand to everyone in need during this endless night. You're an apothecary everyone can count on. Then let's do it together. Let's keep everyone safe. Gladly, Ochette. I'm honored to have you by my side. Okay, let's see what's in store. There's no green little thing here like the others. Is it actually here somewhere?
Something like that.
I say something like that. Is it here? Yes. Mirror reflects the memories of the sacred flame.
It was hope that drove me to live, to survive. Drove me away from death's clutches, to guide others along the same path.
Is that Hazan?
But hope was a mistake.
Or Kazan?
There is
whatever.
nothing worth living for. Nothing in this cruel, unsightly world. There is no dawn worth waiting for.
I feel like I should know that voice.
What would you give to see the morrow, Lord Ageha?
Kazan. Why did you betray us? You lifted up Lord Mugen to the throne, then you tore him down from it.
An eagle must hide his talons. It was the only way to catch my true quarry.
Wow.
The Dark Blood Blade. The sacred treasure of Clan Ku. Not an easy thing to steal.
But Akari just left it on the ground. I did ask about it.
Not so long as Mugen stood in my way. So I cut him down with Hikari's sword.
You. What are you?
So he's the one that killed the king?
For years I have hidden my intentions from Ku. My very name.
Oh man.
But now you shall know it. Oboro.
Okay, so the journal
All
I found
I
was
did,
him.
I did to prevent the tide of darkness that waits on the morrow from reaching us. Within this blade slumbers the power of the shadow.
But I
The power
beat
to
it.
quench the flames. However, such a feat cannot be accomplished without a sacrifice.
Dang.
The accursed blood of Darkest. If not for its taint, we may have seen a desert free from the stain of crimson. And now, I end this. Hikari. Goodbye, old friend. This world's end calls to me. Soon, you shall have the world you envisioned. A world without bloodshed. For oblivion shall bring peace.
Disappointed. The fourth sacred flame burns anew. Seems like they're all shining somewhere in the world. Probably the Lost Isles. The light of the sacred flame indicated the northeast direction. Kazan. Mugen's rebellion, the raising of the city, even my ascent to the throne. Were they all just more of your plots? Were we all playing into your hands? How many of my friends died because of you? Hikari. Ever since I was a child, I spoke with him about the future I envisioned. A future without bloodshed. Were our ideals so different? Why did he do this? He aims to bring an end to the world. We have to stop him. Together. We will. We'll lead everyone toward the dawn. Wow. Oh. Oh? Alright.